You're listening to In the Room podcast with Rima and Rachel.
Hi, welcome to another episode of In the Room. I am Rima.
And I'm Rachel.
And we are in the room again. Love it so much. We are in the room. So I've been pondering about something. And so I'm trying to wrap my head around it because it's something that I actually need to do. So I'm going to go backstory here.
Is it pluck your chin hairs? Because I've been meaning to have a conversation with you about that.
No.
Okay. All right. Well,
but I
we
did
can still have
find
a
one.
conversation.
I found one like a month ago and freaked out. So I was like, please don't come back. I'm taking you out
Oh,
and don't come back. But that's a whole nother thing.
Terrible.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is my thing.
Yeah.
How do I preface it? So remember when you were a kid and like, I keep going back to this memory of a time when I was a kid. I don't know what age it was. Let's say 7 to 12, maybe, or 13 or something.
Okay.
And I just remember like a Saturday or a Sunday, summer, the sun stays out later. And it's like, I can still remember what it felt like to just be out in the front yard for hours.
Yeah.
Hours. And the day was just like, it just went by slowly, but not with any boredom to it. Like the day was just long and it was beautiful. And then finally when it was time for dinner, it just seemed like it stretched and it was wonderful. And it was still filled with, I'm sure I was super busy all day long doing whatever I was doing. But I think, so what I'm getting at here is I was remembering that feeling of being in the moment of whatever I was doing, so focused and encapsulated in that moment that the day lasted forever and it was so good and I was so present. So now, many years later,
Just a few.
I'm trying to figure out how to be present. Okay, the best way to put it is I feel like life drives us. So basically, I feel like we are born to speed up only to be told to slow down. So I'm going to backtrack that in saying ever since we were young, we were pushed into an agenda of plans and being goal oriented. So you're in elementary school and you're constantly being groomed and told, you got to do this and you got to do that. Because when you get to middle school, and then you get to middle school and it's like, you've got to take these classes and you got to be on these teams. Because when you get to high school, then of course, when you're in high school, everything's about planning for college. And when you're in college, everything's about planning for your job. And when you get out in the real world, everybody's telling you to plan for a spouse or to plan for a different position or to plan to move on. And so you're constantly not in the present because you're constantly being driven to plan for the future. And you can't ever really land your feet. So you take someone like me, who's normally bent in fast forward mode naturally. So it comes natural to me. And now I'm at a place in my life where I still have my plate full, but now I'm trying to understand how to slow down enough. And I don't even know if it's slow down or focus or not plan. I'm not sure, but how to be present in the moment. Because right now, what my life is looking like is my calendar. So from 10 to 2, I have this, and then this, and then watch the grandkids, and then go to the game, and then do this. And so literally I wake up every morning and it's literally one event to the next event to the next event. And they could be great events. They could be watching my grandkids. While I'm watching my grandkids, I'm present. But I'm also thinking about, okay, so as soon as I leave here though, I've got that next event. And then I've got to go
Yeah.
home. And I'm not saying it's the calendar's fault. I'm trying to figure out how to sit and be completely in a moment in a world that keeps driving us to plan the next event. Does that make any sense?
It absolutely does because as we record this, it is just the beginning of October. Now it's gonna air at a later time, but right now, as we record this, it's October. And literally, Rima, this year has been one of the years that I remember the most as just being gone. It's just being
Yes.
it's just gone. Like, I
Right.
literally what has happened to this year? It has gone so fast. And I remember, like, as you were saying that about being a kid and, being out in the yard and where I grew up in Southern California, like, I absolutely I had such good friends that were my neighbors, and we were just out all day, and it was
Mhm.
slow, and it was lazy, and it was sunny, and it
Like,
was
can
just
you
like, I
remember the
just
feeling of the cool grass in between your
absolute
toes? Because I can.
100%,
Yeah.
100%, absolutely. And yet, I remember going into this summer, this last summer, saying, "I want to slow down. I want to savor it." I now
Mhm.
live in a place where I enjoy summer. I did not enjoy Southern California summers.
Mhm.
It was too hot for me. It was too smoggy, all those things. And now I'm in a place where it just comes alive during the summer. And I wanted to do those things. I wanted to be out on the lake kayaking. I
Yeah.
wanted to do this stuff. And those things did not happen because of my calendar. And I don't know, like, I feel like there have been times where I have read the books about being present and being in the moment, and you try to ingrain it on your brain, your
Mhm.
kids, these special things of how it never seems to work. It never seems to work
Yeah.
anymore. Like, I don't know how to do it either. I don't know what to say because it is the blind leading the blind here. I don't know how to slow down, and I don't know how to not have those things that drive us. I mean,
I
we've
mean, it's
got the
good to
podcast,
have
we've
plans. I'm
got
not saying,
it is
and it's
100%,
great to
and
be able to
it's
look
good
at
to
the
have
calendar and go,
goals.
"Oh, look at all these fun things that I'm gonna be doing today," or look at all these great whatever, or if it's a work schedule, look at all these things I've got on the docket. And it's
Yeah,
not even a matter of like taking me time or taking a bath. It's like if I'm taking a hot bath and I've said, "Oh, I'm going to get it's almost like I'm romanticizing ahead of time like, "Oh, I'm so excited I'm going to get in the hot bath. I'm going to have a glass of wine." And then I get in the hot bath, and while I'm in the hot bath with the glass of wine, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do when I get out of the bath. Like I can't be
yeah,
present in the bath because I'm thinking about the next thing. And I'm wondering if that's
yeah.
like, has my brain just been so conditioned to move on to different things? Because I don't think it's necessarily an age thing. I do know that
No.
there are some people out there that they know how to push themselves into the present. I mean, I even have a hard time when I wake up in the morning, it's like even quiet time for me isn't
Mhm,
quiet
mhm.
because my brain has been so used to the agenda, the
Yeah,
push, my
yeah,
whole life, moving
yeah,
on to something next. I'm like, man, this is like, and society's getting worse and worse. Like these
yeah,
kids coming up, like everything's about, and their attention span is even less now than ours was.
yeah, yeah.
So they've got screen time and they've got all these things and they're scrolling through things so quickly. And drive-throughs have to get faster or else you get a bad review and la la la. And it's like, I just wonder, like, whatever happened to like that moment of like just saying, I, I'm going to spend an hour and I'm just going to think about what I'm doing in the hour. Maybe it's just me, and
No,
maybe.
no, because I think, there's so much talk now about neural pathways and how the choices we make and the things that we do actually create those little roads in our brain, and
Mhm.
how we can actually reprogram our brains to think differently and behave differently. And I think that's what we've done. You and I both come from a place. Los Angeles is a town of hustle, hustle, hustle,
Yeah.
hustle.
Yep.
Maybe if we came from somewhere in the Midwest where it was just like, okay, well, we're just ready for the corn harvest or whatever, which sounds so lovely, we would have a different set of
Yeah.
neural pathways,
Yeah.
but it's like, or if we came from a different country or something, but we are, like you said, we from a young age, I mean, what, 7 years old, what do you wanna be when you grow up? Well,
Mhm.
now you're already thinking about, what do you wanna be when you grow up? You're not even
As
thinking
opposed
about
to
middle school.
no,
It's like
or
you're thinking
elementary
about,
school or,
well, I'm just, when I grow up, like, what? That's like 20 years from now, and you're already
mhm.
asking me about it, we do that. Our
Yeah.
society
Yeah.
does that. I see families and I wanna be careful what I say here because I think it is good for kids to have schedules,
Totally.
and for them to be involved in school activities and sports and things like that. But it seems to me that we have taken away our children's opportunities to be bored.
Ooh, that's
And in
good.
doing that,
Yep.
we are overstimulating their minds.
So they don't know what to do with the spare time.
So they don't know what to do. They don't know how to just be, because we are not giving them, it's the next sporting event, it's the
Yeah.
next choir thing, it's the next art competition, it's the
And they
next
can't,
thing.
like, a lot of them can't even sit at a table at a restaurant
Yeah,
without having a device in front of them because the parents are worried that they're going to get bored and not. So instead of engaging them and trying to get them to talk, or maybe all they do is eat and look around at all the other people and listen to the conversation, but they don't
right.
know how to do that because they're given something. And then once it's over, they wanna either leave the restaurant or,
Yeah.
so you're right. I mean,
Yeah, it's time to
we
move on to the
shove.
next thing.
Yep,
What's
yep.
the next thing? And so I think, and I'm trying to remember, I kind of grew up that MTV generation where it was the bright lights and the music and
Mhm.
flashing on the TV screens and things like that. But I still had time to be like, like, what am I gonna do now? And then it's like, well, I'm gonna get out my crayons
Yeah,
and
or
thinking
even,
to
like, as a
myself
I remember
and
being a teenager, going up to my room and just turning on music and laying in my
yep,
bed and listening to an entire album,
yeah.
um, and nothing else to do. Maybe
But
daydreaming about the songs or thinking about the songs, but it wasn't like texting people nonstop because
no,
1, we didn't have texting, and 2, you didn't wanna keep picking up the phone and calling. So, we didn't have the opportunity to do it
no,
either, but
no.
I think that gave us at least a little bit, and like I said, I still have an issue with all of this. So, it's not like
Right, right.
even with
Well,
time all
because
that time to be bored.
now we are in a society where if you are not moving, if you are not hustling, if you
Mhm.
are not reaching your goals, if you are not setting, um, like goal setting, if you're not
Yeah,
doing these things, then what are you doing?
yeah.
Like what do you like we came when we came to where we live now, and it was very like, Brad and I were out, we were driving, we were going to things, we were finding new things to do and stuff, and it's just like the people that we met were just kind of home,
Mhm.
and I'm like, "What do you do?" What do
Yeah,
you do if you're just kind of home? What is that?
right.
What are you
Look
doing all
like.
the time? You know?
They're
So
not doing much.
I think, us growing up where we grew up,
Mhm.
um, definitely has something to do with that, but then I think even the bigger question here is, okay, you're recognizing something that is a problem. I'm recognizing something that is a problem. I want to savor these things. I have a grandchild
Uh-oh, hold
now.
sorry. My dog is dreaming, I think,
Aw.
or
See,
having a
even your
seizure.
dog's brain is going too
Huck,
much.
Huck. Sorry, I'm gonna just do this for 1 second. Huck. Okay, sorry, wow. I had to totally interrupt that because he was, like, screaming and shaking,
Oh,
and
no.
I know, and I thought maybe he was having a seizure
Well, this is real
because I don't
life.
know, but he's not. This
This
is
is
like, "Hey,
real
this
life.
is unscripted podcast," but I
Yeah,
had to attend. Sorry,
yeah, that's
distracting,
okay.
but
But
okay.
what I was saying, like, I have this grandchild now, and I want to savor these
Yeah,
times, you know? So I think the bigger question here with what you are discussing is, like, how do we get out of this vicious cycle in our own minds?
yeah, yeah.
How do we do it?
I don't know, and I don't know. That's my dilemma, and so I've been sitting here trying to figure
Mhm.
out, like, how do I reprogram? So, for example, social media. So I've been trying to not sit in my spare time.
Yeah.
Like like it's a bad thing, but like I will in between running around, even if I'm running around the house. So let's say
Yeah.
I'm baking and I'm paying bills and I'm on the computer working and I'm doing all of these things and I'm on the phone making phone calls and I have a break. I'll sit on the couch for 10 minutes and pick up the phone and just divert to
Absolutely.
Instagram.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, maybe just taking my feet and going out on the cement in the backyard and sitting and just listening to like life for a minute, 10
Mhm.
minutes maybe. Don't be
Mhm.
on my phone.
Yeah.
Um, might help me regroup enough to be centered again because I don't now now it's even worse because we do have the phone. Like,
Yeah.
for example, okay, this is a great example. So Ray and I are in a restaurant, let's say, and w- I will get up to go to the restroom. And the minute I get up, he pulls his phone out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he's just going to browse the phone while I'm in the restroom. And so I noticed that and I was like, huh, I guess maybe I do that too. So now, not to tell him not to do it, but for my personal self, I've decided that when he has to get up to go to the restroom, I'm going to be old school and I'm not going to pull my phone out and I'm going to sit and look around the restaurant
Mm.
and sip my wine and
Yeah.
wait for him like we used to do because my
Yeah.
brain needs to stop and not move on to the next thing. Oh, he's in the restroom. I'll grab the phone. It's literally the next thing and the next thing, as opposed to he just went to the restroom. So I'm just going to look around the restaurant. I'm going to people watch and
Yeah.
see who's eating what and listen to the music and just eat my food slowly and wait for him, whatever it is. But it's so
Yeah.
interesting that we just gravitate toward the next thing because we don't like the empty space.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
No,
it would be
I
really good to be in that empty space. I want to be
yes.
focused on, if we go to a restaurant, I just want to be focused on the food, who I'm with,
Yep.
the ambiance, and just walk away from it having a complete, clear memory of that 2 hours at dinner. That's
I
it.
think yeah, and I think you just hit on something really profound was having a complete clear memory of what we just did. I think that you're right, the distraction, the constant
Yeah.
distraction is preventing us from remembering these things.
Yeah.
One of the things I just went not that long ago to visit the grandbaby. And one of the things that I really tried to do was make sure that kind of all my little ducks were in a row. I didn't have to pay the mortgage. I didn't have to make any phone calls. I didn't have to do anything like that before I left on this trip because normally what I'll do is I'm like, oh, I've got, we pay our taxes quarterly, whatever. Okay, I'm going to bring that bill with me so that I remember to pay the bill. I've got stuff. Oh, I've got to call this person. I've got to
Right.
set a piece up. Well, I'll just do that when I get in Hawaii. I'll make a little lit.
Mhm.
No, I didn't want to do that, and I wanted to feel free and clear to go and enjoy and do without being
Right.
like, "Ugh, I still haven't paid those taxes. Still haven't
Yeah.
paid those taxes," and so I did that. Actually, I didn't pay the taxes. I was like, "Screw it, I'm not paying the taxes till I get back." But and I still need to pay the taxes.
It's okay, right?
But, um, but I am finding that something that is helping me a little bit, now I'm not great at it, but a little bit, is setting aside time kind of in the morning. Like, I have my list, my to-do list, and I set aside time. This is something that I am not good at, that it doesn't happen every day, but I find that when it does, it's really freeing. I get done now, I am working from home right now, so I am not having to go do a 9 to 5. So this is something that works for me. This is not going to work
Sure.
for everyone. But I find that if I do that and I can knock out the things that are weighing on me and burdening me and causing me to think about them when I'm doing other things,
Right.
that is so freeing to then kind of be in the moment,
Right. Right.
and like you said about social media, man, yesterday I was tired yesterday. I was having some autoimmune stuff and I just was on my phone so much, just scrolling and scrolling and
Hours
scrolling,
can go by
scrolling and
and
scrolling and
mhm.
scrolling. And I just thought, I'm not doing that today.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. So I had a couple of messages that people had sent that I checked on my Instagram, on my Facebook. We were buying something through Facebook Marketplace and I didn't do it today. I
You
did watch some
didn't?
TV when I should have been cleaning my basement, but I didn't scroll on my phone like I did yesterday. I kinda made
But
myself
that's
sick yesterday.
because
Like, I was
you
sick of
OD'd.
myself. I totally OD'd, and I'm like, "I don't wanna do this anymore." I don't wanna do that, and so I am trying, and I'm hoping that that will make me more present, but it is an addiction, and we are all addicted, and if you say that you're not, I think that you are not,
Yeah.
you're fooling
You're
yourself.
fooling yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm not
So
saying that it doesn't have its place, sure, but so does a glass of wine and not
right.
10,
Right.
you
I
know?
agree. I agree.
So,
Yeah.
I
So I'm not quite, like I said, I'm not quite sure how to fix this. And if
yeah,
anybody out there has some great suggestions, please let us know. Um, you can post on our Instagram page or whatever. But um, I just, I think I'm just trying to just scrape away the old habits and try to dig back to, and I know I can't go back to that 7-year-old. That's okay. I don't necessarily need to, but I do need to at least, like I said, whatever I'm in, whatever box I'm in at the time, 10 to 1, 10 to 11, whatever time slot I'm in, I wanna try to get myself to a place where I'm just in that time slot, and I'm not thinking
yeah,
about the next thing, and
yeah,
I think that's just gonna have to be a conscious decision, and it's going to have to be a, you know, don't do anything else
yeah,
when you're in that time zone. Don't pick up the phone and scroll. Don't don't
yeah,
try to multitask. Don't, if I'm doing one thing, I can get very
do it.
squirrely. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just sit and do it
Do
and
the
say
one
that you're gonna
thing.
do it,
Yeah.
and then,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
So I am not, I don't know. I have this love-hate relationship with ChatGPT, right?
Oh, I use it for
But
sure.
well, and it can be helpful with my work, but so
Yes.
I just asked ChatGPT, "How can I be more present in my everyday life?"
Ooh, yeah.
And it
So let's
said,
hear
"That
this.
is a beautiful question.
It's beautiful.
Being present is about training your attention to rest in the here and now, rather than constantly drifting into the past or future. Here are some gentle, practical ways you can invite more presence into your everyday life." I mean,
And
it
what
speaks
are
to me
those?
so kindly.
No, it's so
Obviously, I
sweet.
speak to ChatGPT kindly for it to speak to me so kindly.
What
But
are
so
those?
okay, so it talks about like um wow, it talks about like feeling your feet on the ground when you walk, pausing before your meals to notice the colors, smells, and
Didn't
textures of
I
your
talk about
food.
putting my feet on the ground? I did.
It talks about creating mindful pauses. Take 30 seconds between tasks to look around the room and notice what's actually there.
Like in a
Before,
restaurant.
before answering your phone or opening an email, take a slow, intentional breath. Limit autopilot. I think this is a really good one for me. Try doing one activity every day with full attention. Look at you, Rima. You're as smart as AI.
I have all the
Washing the
answers and I
dishes,
didn't know it.
brushing your teeth, driving without music, sipping coffee.
Wait, 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 wait. What? Whoa. Can we just go back a second? Brushing my teeth. What else can I do? Well, we know.
Well, you can
Guess
be
what?
thinking,
You can also go to the bathroom while you're brushing your teeth. And most
okay,
people out there, I'm just saying, let's think about it. Most people do. You don't have to admit it here, but I know you do.
I'm not
So,
judging. I don't think I have ever done that.
okay,
I'm
we
not
I
judging,
bet
but
Brad has.
well, he's an animal beast creature, so I
I
don't
know, but
wanna
I'm just
I don't
saying it's
okay.
kind of like that. But okay, brushing your teeth. Yeah. Don't do
Yes, and
anything
then
else.
it says use small cues like a bracelet, a sticky note, or an alarm to remind yourself to come back to the present moment. Ask yourself, where am I right now? What's actually happening in this moment? I mean, I do that, but unintentionally. It's more like when I walk into a room and I'm like, where am I?
Do
Why
you
did
know
I
what's
walk
happening
into
at
this
this moment right
room?
now, Rachel?
I
We are doing a
don't.
podcast.
Oh, shoot.
I
Okay.
hope you'll
Well,
remember that.
at least I'm not doing a podcast and going to the bathroom at the same time.
Thank goodness. Or brushing your teeth.
You know?
Right?
Be curious. When your mind wanders, instead of getting frustrated, notice where it went. This is good for quiet time and
Uh-huh.
meditation. Notice where it went and gently return. See if you can approach ordinary moments, a shower, a conversation, a walk, with a beginner's mind as if for the first time. That's
Ooh, that's
interesting.
really interesting. So instead of
I've
like,
never heard that.
I've never heard that either. So how interesting she said like a shower. The walk, I could totally see like, oh, okay, I'm going to go on this walk like it's the first walk I've ever done around this park. And I'm going to try to look
Yeah.
for things that are different. Now the shower, I don't know, Chat GPT. My theory's out on that
Interesting.
a little bit. I
Interesting.
don't know what it would be like. I think my first shower I was traumatized and didn't want to get in the shower probably. So I don't know
Yeah.
about a beginner for
Yeah.
that. I'm just being serious.
And then kind of it ends with at the end of the day, recall three small things you appreciated that you might have otherwise overlooked, like a light on the wall, a smile, a breeze.
That's
So then
good.
you're recalling things about your day so that it doesn't just pass you
And
by.
right. And so it becomes a memory.
Yes, and then it said it's not about being present all the time. That's impossible. It's about noticing when you're not and
Mm.
kindly bringing yourself back again and again.
Wow,
So,
ChatGPT.
for the
Like,
win.
thank
Mhm.
you, ChatGPT.
I know.
You have reminded me of things I need to do, even though I said a lot of those things. So,
You said some very
ChatGPT, where
similar
did you
things,
get
so
those
we're going
from?
they got them
Maybe
from
you
you,
got them
Rima.
from me.
Maybe so, maybe so. But I think, like, I never thought about that. I'm gonna try. Okay,
Okay.
so think
Uh-oh.
about what I just said, and what
Okay.
are you gonna try? What is new to you that you wanna try? Like, the mindful pauses, the limiting autopilot, gentle reminders, being curious,
I
the
think I have an issue with the autopilot. So limiting autopilot, number one. And
yeah,
I think for me, going back and finding three small things in the day.
yeah.
Like, I wanna find small things, not like, ooh, looking back at the day and going, "I love
That
that
was
I
so
had a great
great. Yeah,
lunch."
yeah,
More like, "Oh my gosh," whatever it is, like, if there was something about the lunch, the conversation, the restaurant, the smell of the restaurant, the look of whatever it was, something
yeah,
small that I appreciated or that
yeah,
enhanced my moment
yeah.
so that I could turn it into a memory. I think going into everything thinking about okay, this is a better thing. Instead of recapping all three things at the end of the day, I think what I want to start to do, I'm going to put this out there now, um, is I want to go into every moment with a takeaway.
Mm,
So we're in this podcast. I want to, the minute we're done, I want to come out immediately with my takeaway of the moment, not just move on to the next. So if I take a shower, maybe the takeaway is, "Oh my gosh, I loved using that new body wash," or "It smelled so good,"
oh my
or
god.
"What the heck? What happened
I'm
there?"
just this is your takeaway now. I
You just
I
had a
moved
moment.
my I moved my headphone into the light
Uh-huh.
of my voiceover booth,
Yeah.
and I thought it was a spider
Super.
crawling behind me.
Super. So maybe I will remember that out of
Maybe
this
I'm too
podcast.
present.
You're too present now.
Now
But
I'm
you know what
having
I
a hot
mean?
flash. I do.
I think that's what I wanna do. I think I wanna try to go into moments and go, "Okay,
Yeah,
that was a great whatever I did. That was a great
yeah,
conversation. That was a great show I watched that was a great and just have a moment of takeaway. And the takeaway from like if I'm watching a Netflix show, maybe it's not about the Netflix show. Maybe it's about I loved being all comfy with my pillows watching that show, or I loved that I had a cup of hot tea. Like that made me feel so warm and cozy. Like I want to tap into the emotions and the feelings of the moment because those are the things that I think are going to create the memories again, that are going to create
yeah.
that 7-year-old with the wet grass in between the toes
Yes.
and it's cool. It's a hot, like that's seriously things I remember so well is hot California summer, cool morning grass. The grass was
Yeah,
so cool and it was so hot outside and it just felt so good.
yeah. Ah,
So
I love
there's
that.
my
I love
takeaway.
that.
And what are
I
you going
think
to do?
I really like that being curious, having a beginner's mind as if for the
Mm,
first time, that
okay.
just really stood out to me.
Yeah.
That just I mean, even like, where we live is beautiful, and like I said, we're coming into fall, the leaves are changing. I don't ever wanna take that for granted,
Yeah.
and so I want to be aware, so driving down that road as if it's the first time.
Yeah,
Or,
that is very cool.
I just I love that, I love that, um, and I like the idea of mindful pauses, of
Mhm.
taking a few seconds, 30 seconds, it recommends, between tasks to just be like, maybe it's an, "Okay,
Yeah.
I finished that thing. How does that feel? Where does that sit?
Yeah.
Great. Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna go do this thing."
Yeah.
I think those are
No.
good
So good.
things.
So good.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I love that.
hopefully you viewers have learned a lot from ChatGPT. It would
Yeah.
be so interesting if I wish I could listen to all of your comments and hear what you're
"Welcome,
doing or
caller.
what you're
You're on
thinking,
the
but
air."
you're on the air with Rima and Rachel. Ba-da. But um but yeah, hopefully this kind of brought some things forward to our listeners' minds as well
Yeah.
and just kind of I just think it's a real issue that we don't discuss and we don't think about much. But man, those little moments are so incredibly important for us to refocus in and be present. And
Mhm.
so, yeah. So, okay. Well, now I have a little, I wasn't sure how we were going to end this podcast because I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, you don't know what to do and I don't know what to do. And so, hey, Chat GPT, way to go.
Yeah.
Bringing it home today for us. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna check in with you and see how
Do
that's
it.
going.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
it. Hopefully I'll remember you. So I don't know. I'll just try
I
to
know. I know.
stand out what
Try to be
happened.
present, Rima, for crying
I
out
will
loud.
try. I will try.
When
Anyway,
your takeaway from this podcast now is gonna be me with 0 makeup on in this
mhm.
weird
Oh, I have 0 makeup on
voiceover
too.
booth fight.
We always do. We can have a podcast about 0 makeup. How's that? Um, hey, it was so great. I hope y'all
Yeah,
enjoyed and learned something here, but we did, even if you didn't.
sure
So
did.
thanks for helping us work through our issues.
Yeah. There's so many, and there's
It's
many more
so
to
many and
come.
there's many more. So,
Yes.
yeah. So, welcome to the crazy room with
Yeah.
Rima and Rachel. Anyway,
And
we
it should
are
be it should be in the padded room.
in the
We're in
padded
the
room.
padded room.
There will be some padded room discussions, I'm sure. So,
All right, my friend. I love you so much.
love
This
you
was so great.
too. Thanks for joining
Yeah.
us, and we will
Thanks for being
see
in the
y'all
room with
next
us.
time in the room. Bye.
All right. Take care.
Bye.